former President Donald Trump's Truth Social has experienced yet another devastating setback. Now, Reuters reported the Digital World Acquisition Corp, the SPAC or blank check company that plans to merge with Trump's media and technology group, said this week that it would return $533 million in capital raised for the deal. That means there are $533 million less. There's $533 million less that's going to go to the company once they actually do merge. Now, this comes after some of the investors had backtracked on $467 million of commitment to the blank check firm. Not good. Now, the Reuters reports that the development means the end of the so-called private investment in public equity, or PIPE, transaction, which I actually think it's kind of funny that they call it a PIPE. Because guess who just got piped? Okay. I know.
Sexual anarchy.
All right. Anyway, now this would have delivered Trump Media and Technology Group, the operator of Trump's Truth Social platform, a total of $1 billion. $1 billion as part of its merger with Digital World. So Digital World raised the $1 billion PIPE last year, but failed to complete the merger with TMTG by a September 2022 deadline. And of course, they were unable to do that because financial regulators were looking into Digital World's disclosures to investors because there's some possibility of some fraudulent stuff going on here, okay, that they had to look into. So now CEO Devin Nunes was actually not having a cow this time. He said in a press release that terminating the PIPE was, quote unquote, in the best interest of TMTG's equity holders in completing our merger with DWAC as soon as possible. So they want to get the deal done. A TMTG spokesperson also claimed in a release on Thursday that the two companies still plan to merge and said the development was in fact a positive step, but declined to comment how. I mean, generally, when you end up losing $1 billion in funding that you desperately need, I really wouldn't call that a positive step. That would seem to me like a negative step there. But I don't know. I'm not Devin Nunes. In fact, apparently it's going to be left with only the $293 million in cash that it had raised in its initial public offering in September of 2021. So that is money that once they do finish merging will actually be available to Truth Social. Okay. But wait, that could actually shrink if investors decide to opt out for redemptions. Oof. So as a result, of course, the stock price of this Digital World dropped by 2%. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, right? Well, I mean, sure, 2%. Then again, the amount that it has dropped since March of 2022 is disastrous. So 2%, the stock price went from, basically it went down to $15.54 a share. And it used to be, back in March of 2022, $97 a share. So that's an over 80% drop. Disastrous. But of course, that's the only word that you can use to describe this thing. It's disastrous. These two companies have dealt with their share of legal trouble, such as the arrest of a former Digital World Acquisition Corporation board member for insider trading ahead of the intended merger's announcement. And of course, the big elephant in the room here, the fact that Donald Trump himself was arrested on charges related to election interference. Oops. He's also in trouble in New York, for, inflating his assets, changing the valuations of things that he owns to, claim that he's got more wealth and things are worth more than they actually are. Yeah. So, there's that issue, but not related to Truth Social, funny enough. So now the issue with, of course, Truth Social itself is they got to make money. They actually don't make any money. So they, in fact, a recent SEC filing shows the company has actually lost $6 million in the first half of 2022 and generated no revenue. None. None. And so there's reasons for that, of course. It's not very popular. For a social media website, the key to success here is to bring in as many users as you can, right? True Social was not meant for that. It was meant to be a very niche product for basically the Trump fans. That's it. It's like a little Trump fan club app, is what it is. And so, of course, as a result, who do they have on it? Trump fans. There's only about 2 million users on the platform in total. Not very good. The average True Social user, also according to metrics, is likely to be male, Republican, aged 18 to 34. So older people, 65 plus, for example, not really interested in using it. Democrats, obviously not interested in using it. And neither are women. Just women in general. 61% of women said that they would never use True Social at all. Not even consider it. So what you have here is an app that is a sausage fest filled with young Republican men. Yeah, I can see why nobody wants to go there. It doesn't really seem like a great place to go. And so not only that, but again, it's going to have a hard time adopting new users because of the fact that it's ran by Donald Trump, just so that he can go and say things that are not true. So when you're trying to make money, and that makes it a really difficult way to make money when you have such a niche audience. Maybe they can do it, maybe not. That said, that $1 billion might have went a long way to at least helping that website survive. I'm not saying it's going to die 100%. I'm just saying that it's very likely to, unless they can figure out how to make money. And they would have had this problem afterwards, even after the merger. If they had gotten $1 billion, they still would have had this problem. It just wouldn't have come up as soon. But once they do the merger, if they're ever allowed to do the merger, yes, they've got $239 million so far. How long is that going to last? And that's the big issue here. And so unless you can find a way to monetize this, it is going to die. But, and judging by Trump's business experience and his current problems legally, I don't think I don't think the prognosis is good.
Truth essential.